Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is I Love Lucy and I am Lucy. Do me a favor and please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Jacob Blake, another black man shot by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Apparently there was a domestic dispute. The police were called. I'm not sure what his involvement was. Someone said that he was trying to break up a fight between two women. But nevertheless, you can see him in the video walking around from the driver's side, the passenger side of the car to the driver's side. He's engaging with two officers. As he's trying to get into the car, one of the officers is grabbing him by the back of his shirt. And as he tries to get into the car, he's shot 7 times. All the while, 3 kids are in the car witnessing this. Now, there is a statement that was made by the governor, Tony Evers, and it reads as follows. Jacob Blake was shot in the back multiple times in broad daylight in Kenosha. Kathy and I join his family, friends, and neighbors in hoping earnestly that he will not succumb to his injuries. While we do not have all the details yet, what we know for certain is he is not the first black man or person to have been shot or injured or mercilessly killed at the hands of individuals in law enforcement in our state or in our country. We stand with all of those who have and continue to demand justice, equality, and accountability for Black lives in our country. Lives like those of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tony Robinson, Denise Hamilton, Ernest Lacy, and Seville Smith. And we stand against excessive use of force and immediate escalation when engaging with Black Wisconsinites. I have said all along that although we must offer our empathy, equally important is our action. In the coming days, we will demand just that of elected officials in our state who have failed to recognize the racism in our state and our country for far too long. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Are the police just scared? Are they not properly trained? Or are they using their power to their advantage? You tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I did find 2 news clips. You guys go ahead and check out these clips. And thank you so much for stopping by.
Police. It was a call of a domestic disturbance. It is unclear exactly who initially called police, but in the video you will see a man that's now been identified as Jacob Blake, identified by Wisconsin governor. He tries to make his way towards the driver's side of a vehicle, try to make his way inside the vehicle, and that's when one of 2 officers opened fire multiple times. Before we play the video, it's also important to keep in mind that he is alive this morning. According to authorities, he remains still in serious condition. As you can imagine, that video is certainly going to be in the mountain of evidence. It's not going to be considered by authorities. It's also important to point out here what we don't necessarily know right now, Robin. The video does not show the events leading up to the shooting itself. We also don't know why, obviously, the officer felt the need to use deadly force. So those are all questions that authorities are going to try to answer. And on that note, we do know that Kenosha PD not only gave up the scene to an outside investigative agency, but are also going to be turning the investigation and already have turned over the investigation to Wisconsin's Department of Justice. That's going to be in charge of actually investigating the shooting. But in the meantime, that curfew that you mentioned a little while ago, Robin, that's still in place for about another hour right now. It was placed on an emergency basis overnight when things took a fairly violent and tense turn. But this morning, things were relatively peaceful here in Kenosha.
Yeah, there definitely is still a large police presence here. I'm here outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse, and you can see officers are still lined on the sidewalk out here in their riot gear, just lined up on the sidewalk. Some officers sitting on the stairs leading up to the courthouse. And on the outside of the building, you can see graffiti splattered across the building, and several of the windows to the courthouse are smashed. And I want to show you this over here. Blocking the streets to the courthouse are several garbage trucks, and this is what we're seeing this morning. Some of them, their windows completely destroyed and and damage. Other garbage trucks are completely charred, and all that remains are the metal frames of those vehicles. Now, this stems from a night of overnight unrest, anger, frustration after an officer-involved shooting. Here's a video taken by a witness of the alleged incident. This video has been circulating on social media, and we want to warn you, it is graphic and maybe upsetting to some. Around 5 p.m. yesterday, police were called out to a domestic incident near 28th and 40th Street. A man identified as 29-year-old Jacob Blake is seen walking away from officers, heading towards the driver's side of a vehicle, and that's when he was shot by police. He was taken to the hospital by Flight for Life, and we are told he is listed in serious condition. We did reach out to the hospital for an update on his condition, but we were told they could not provide it at this time. Now, a woman who identified herself as Blake's fiance says their children were in the vehicle and witnessed this horrific incident.
You overused it. That's what you did. You shot him numerous times for no reason. It didn't take all that. Disregard that my kids was in the car at all. And you knew they was in there because I kept screaming that before y'all even made it to the other side of the driver's side to get him in the car. I've been yelling that the whole time. Let me get my kids.
Now, after the shooting took place, violence erupted in downtown Kenosha. Some people looted businesses, set vehicles on fire, and destroyed police cars. Overnight, police deployed tear gas on a crowd to try to get things under control. And then the citywide curfew was in place and put into effect until 7 a.m. this morning. Now, police have not released any new information this morning. We know the Department of Justice is investigating this case, and we're told the agency hopes to have a report to prosecutors within the next 30 days. The officers involved in this shooting had been placed on administrative leave, which is standard procedure for a shooting like this. Reporting live in Kenosha, Adriana Mendez, TMJ4 News.